All right, so yeah, it's 11:54 and it's almost midnight. But I want to shoot this video because I think documenting my way towards, you know, the success that I want to achieve is something that's going to be valuable to aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners, right? A lot of people are kind of, nowadays entrepreneurship is kind of glamorized, okay? And most people only see the end product of a successful entrepreneur, right? And that's after the countless failures, you know, years and years of hard work, you know, just burning the midnight oil, figuring things out, pivoting, adjusting, you know, those lonely nights, those countless times where you get anxious about a lot of things that are uncertain. So yeah. So, and again, please understand that I'm just trying to do an ad lib here. I'm doing this off the fly because again, this video might help someone, and I'd be happy if I help just one individual who watches this video, okay, and inspire that person, motivate that person. So anyway, as you can see, I'm currently here in my room, and you know, if Christian Grey has a red room, I got this red couch, right? You'll never know what happens in this couch. All right, so what am I trying to do here? So basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to engineer a new marketing strategy from here moving forward, right? So it's technically it's the 27th of Feb already. And let me just share this. Although we were super happy with, well, I personally, well, a lot of people were happy with the results that we got last year. Well, technically not last year, but just during the month of December. We ran ads for a couple of weeks, and in a matter of well, less than 2 weeks, we were able to generate 5 closes, okay, with an ad budget of less than 20,000 pesos, right? But here's the deal. The sweet, like I would call it the Goldilocks ad budget was about 3,000 pesos. The reason why I say that is because we've spent anywhere between like 16 to 17,000 pesos testing, you know, figuring out what works, tweaking our targeting, trying to identify who our target audience is. And then after that, after we found out who were positively responding to the ads that we deployed during that time, again, that was in the span of a couple of weeks, then with the 3,000, succeeding 3,000 ad budget after spending 16 to 17,000 pesos, 3,000 actually generated like again 5 closes plus 1 parking space. So each unit during that time, condominium unit, that is, cost about 1,615,000 pesos, right? Multiply by 5, so just do the numbers. 3,000 pesos generated that ROI. And so the reason I'm doing this is because, like, although a lot of people were kind of happy with the results, I saw the opportunity to get better results. I'm grateful for what we've generated last year, but that was last year, and I don't want to sit on yesterday's laurels. And I think we can do so much better with this new strategy that I'm going to implement. So again, the name of the marketing strategy is called Project Dream 100. So essentially, what we'll do here is we'll identify the dream client, we'll define the dream client and truly understand what makes that client tick, and also taking into consideration our side of the whole deal, like, meaning, you know, one of the things that I've realized over the course of 2 weeks marketing and spearheading the sales was that a lot of these people, a lot of these leads that we generated aren't weren't good in timekeeping, and even the ones that we closed off of that, you know, that marketing period, man, like you know, there was this one client that was so notorious in being late, and you know, it just kept me waiting for hours and hours. And I created a video, I think last year, or no, just probably a month ago, about that. And so and that was the second condominium unit that this client purchased. Now, am I complaining? No, I'm not complaining, because at the end of the day, this client purchased 2 units. But there's always you know, an opportunity to improve upon something, right? And in our case, there's an opportunity to improve upon the marketing, the overall marketing campaign, and specifically the targeting. And this time, I want to be sure that the leads, right, that we generate are leads that will not waste our time, specifically my time, right? And I truly believe there's a way to do that if I implement and execute this properly, okay? Because I don't like, it's really a waste of time to just deal with tire kickers, you know, pikers, people who really can't afford your product, people you can't help, you know, because this development that we're building out in Dagupan City, specifically on Arellano Street, is really the very first high-end condominium in the area. Like, it's complete with great quality amenities like rooftop swimming pool. It's got a fitness center. It's got a lot of commercial areas in the you know, on the ground floor. It's flood-proof, meaning, like, you know, if you know the history of Dagupan, there was this one time that I think there was a typhoon or like some heavy and sustained precipitation, and you know, the general area of Dagupan was flooded. And so for us to be able to not necessarily avert the flooding, but at least diminish the inconvenience that our condominium unit owners would experience in case that happens again in the future, is that we engineered the entire development to be elevated for at least 1.5 meters. So I'm 5'9", 5'10", so it's about this height, right? Excuse me. So yeah, what am I talking about? And again, I'm just like doing an ad lib here, okay? So this is like uncut, this is raw, and this is as real as it can get. So again, we'll be hyper defining the client that we truly want to work with, the ones that we get excited serving, and really avoid and diminish the ones that aren't just, you know, not worthwhile at all. So if you take a look at the whiteboard, I'm not sure if you can see it here, but let me like bring the camera closer. I'll be calling this project Dream 100, defining my dream client. So let me just like share a backstory how I got this, like where I derived the inspiration from. Again, going back in December of 2019, over the course of that 2 weeks of me spearheading the sales and marketing campaign of this project that we're doing, I realized a lot of things. And one of the pivotal moment is that, like, I had this question after being so frustrated with clients that I really didn't want to deal with, like the time wasters. Again, there was this one time that I had to wait for like 2-3 hours. And again, it's not like I'm complaining, but the question that I had after the experience, that what's stopping me from just dealing with the clients that I want to deal with and eliminate the ones that, you know, that I don't want to deal with. And so it was a challenge for me, right? And I know there's a way for me to be able to engineer the Facebook ads and just attract these clients that I want to deal with, that I want to serve, right? If I clearly define the qualities of that dream client. And by the way, this is something that I learned from Chet Holmes, the Ultimate Sales Machine. So before you can even like start attracting the clients that you want to attract, you need to have a client avatar. You need to exactly determine who that client is, and you probably want to name that person, whether it's, you know, Juan de la Cruz or Maria de la Cruz, you know, John Doe, Jane Doe. You got to define that client and the client qualities. So if you look on the whiteboard, you'll see that we'll have two categories. First category on your left will be who do I get excited serving, and the second category on your right is the not worthwhile. So let's talk about the not worthwhiles first. Who are they? So they are the time wasters. They are the I think it should be indecisive people, right? Indecisive people, the one who do not need the product, the ones who are a pain in the ass, the ones who are unpersuadable skeptics. So what I mean by that is there are actually skeptics who are persuadable. You know, I call them persuadables, meaning these are these are prospects who just don't know enough about the product or service that you offer, and that all they need is a strong, logical, and probably emotional case that this is something that's going to benefit them, not just from a monetary standpoint, but from an emotional standpoint, familial standpoint. So again, but going back, I don't want to deal with unpersuadable skeptics, right? Now, last but not the least is I don't want to, obviously, we don't want to talk to or spend a lot of time with people or prospects who don't have the money, right? Because it's not like we're selling fish or a banana or an apple, right? The product that we're selling, well, before it was like 1.615 million pesos. Now it's 1.785 million, right? 1,785,000 pesos, right? So we just had a recent price increase, and that's just natural for a pre-selling real estate development. All right, so going back, now let's talk about the ones who we get excited serving. So who are they? So these are the folks that see the future, like a clear vision of the future of real estate investing in the Dagupan City. The Dagupan City is an emerging city. There are a lot of heavyweight, big-time developers who already broke ground in the Dagupan, right? One is Philinvest. There's a development called Fora by Philinvest, and also SMDC, SM is already has SM City in the works. Like right now we have SM City Hypermarket in the Dagupan, so there's just like a grocery store, like the super mini scale, or not scale, but like the small SM, right? But then again, my point here is if these huge developers see an opportunity here in the Dagupan City, and the way they put their money where their mouth is by investing, like you better start purchasing while real estate prices in the Dagupan are underpriced, right? And we want to talk to the people who sees that, right? Who understands that. Also, this is big for me specifically. So this time I want to talk with individuals who are great in timekeeping. We're not gonna let me wait for like 2 hours and just like reschedule last minute and say, hey, I can't meet you right now because for whatever reason, can we meet like 2 or 3 hours? No, not anymore. Not because I don't want to serve them, but because we'll be like kicking things higher gear, during this first quarter of 2020, and I'm gonna fill up my calendar and make sure that my calendar is like blocked out every hour. And if someone is, if I talk to someone who's not really good in timekeeping and cancels and reschedule, that, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna be a headache rescheduling or just really moving, rescheduling my other like schedules or appointments for the day. All right, so moving forward, we also want to speak with people who are liquid, meaning they have the cash to invest, right? They can afford the product. We also want to talk to individuals and serve the individuals who understand the value of investing in general, right? Like, that they know that it's important, and that you just don't want to be a consumer, right? You want to be able to invest your money and, put your money to work, right? We want to deal with prospects who have positive energy. And the reason why we want to do this is, ever come across someone, and let's not even talk about like dealing with clients, like someone in general, like you had this thing that you're super excited about, and then you share this thing that you're super excited about to this person, but then this person is like just oozing with negative energy, and after the conversation that you had with this person, you just feel like downright depressed after sharing. Like, we don't want those individuals, right? Because they're just going to squash the dream, and we don't want to be influenced by those people. Last but not the least, we want to deal with individuals who values great quality service. Okay. All right. So I gotta get back to work in a few seconds here, but I want to share one last thing before I let you go, because as much as I want to keep going, like I said, I need to get back to work, and I can only share a 10,000 foot view of what I am trying to achieve here. Now here's where you come in. If you want to ask specific questions, all right, just let me know in the comments below. If you're too shy to comment below, just send me a direct message, like a DM on Facebook Messenger, and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I get your message. Now, going to this one last thing that I wanted to share. What is the true beauty of clearly defining your dream client, knowing how they think, knowing where they hang out online, knowing what their interests are, is that you'll be able to properly deploy your communication tactic and strategy. Now, what I mean by that is you'll be able to create the proper headline, right, that will resonate to your dream client, and you'd also be able to create a solid sales copy on that Facebook ad, and of course that copy will also resonate very well, not just from a logical standpoint, but from an emotional standpoint, and appeal to your dream client, emotionally, because you know what language pattern to use, you know specific keywords, hot buttons that you'll incorporate on that sales copy, and even on the sales video that you'll engineer. It's same thing. You'll be able to create and engineer a sales video that's going to resonate and appeal to your dream client. So what I'm thinking of doing here is I'll be running of course it's going to be knowing that our clients predominantly uses or prefers Facebook as their social media platform of choice. We'll use Facebook and run a PPE campaign and a video view campaign. PPE is a page post engagement campaign, right? And just direct them to a landing page, and also be able to incorporate a messenger marketing campaign. So a lot of stuff. Again, I need to get back to work. If you have any questions at all, just let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, please like it. If you're too shy to comment below, send me a direct message. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.